When a few years ago, news came that the European Commission was bringing an antitrust case against the Russian state-owned natural gas monopoly supplier, Gazprom, there was huge excitement in the financial press. The Swedish economist Anders Aslund, who has long campaigned for the breakup of Gazprom, said that this would probably be its end. This view was also echoed in long articles in places like the Financial Times, which said that Gazprom was not a proper commercial natural gas supplier, but had become the political arm of the Russian government and was used by the Russian government to force political concessions from Europe. There were also complaints that Gazprom had abused its monopoly position to extort unfair competition contracts from its customers. There was also great excitement that this might force the Russians and Gazprom to agree to European customers and companies involving themselves in the Russian natural gas market by perhaps opening their own operations in Russia. After a while, news of this case began to subside, and many people might wonder what has happened to it. Well, the answer came a few days ago, but received none of the publicity that the news of the case itself, when it was first started, attracted. The case was settled very much on Gazprom's terms. It appears that Gazprom is not going to face any fine. It is not being asked to renegotiate any of its contracts. All it is being asked to do is to give a general undertaking that it will, in future, it will comply with the European Commission's rules. That, of course, is something which it has always said it has done. Probably, in future, Gazprom will try to harmonize its contracts more carefully with its European customers, but it is unlikely that any fundamental change in its operations on the European market will take place. So why did this happen? The short answer is Europe needs Russian natural gas, and Gazprom is the supplier of that gas. There is no economic way around that fact. Talk of importing liquefied natural gas from the United States faces the insuperable problem that because of technical reasons, it can never be as cheap as Russian natural gas. At the moment, the calculations are that it will always be at least 40% more expensive. Europe's need for natural gas is growing, and the only viable supplier who can fill all of Europe's needs is Russia. As it happens, last year, Gazprom's natural gas supplies to Europe hit record levels. The result is, as we have seen, a flurry of actual contracts between European governments and European companies and Gazprom, which will only further strengthen Gazprom's position in the European natural gas market. Germany is forging ahead with the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, which will supply gas directly from Russia to Germany. Gazprom is in the process of completing the Turk Stream pipeline to Turkey, which is also expected to be used to increase exports of Russian natural gas to southeastern Europe. And it seems that Bulgaria now is pressing Gazprom to reconsider its previous refusal to proceed with the South Stream gas pipeline, which would supply natural gas directly from Russia to Bulgaria and Central Europe. The simple fact is that in all negotiations, commercial and otherwise, the Russians and Gazprom hold the strongest hand in any negotiation with Europe. This is what the Europeans have been forced to accept, and this is why this agreement has ended in this way, with this case being settled on Gazprom's terms.